Over there, it's all those mangroves all around.
I really like jobs like this. Set up this GPS with MacGyver set up here.
Yeah, last few things before we move on. Oh, cool. We're in Virginia Key for a dip. Little anchorage by the Marine Stadium in Virginia Key. Water is incredible.
Coconut slacklining. So you can just pick up the garbage as you see it.
There's mosquitoes everywhere. I'm walking through mangroves and it's so itchy. Never again. It's not fair. I don't see with my eye. Like all that kind of stuff, the whole little river there, it's all those mangroves all around. It's pretty neat.
Remember how big he is.
I know, he's huge.
And not camouflaged at all.
Gosh, no. I wonder, like, the orange, if it's not like a mature thing, or if the green and the orange ones are the exact same ones, you know?
I don't know.
Oh, there's another one right there.
Oh my gosh, he's more camouflaged.
Yeah, that one's well camouflaged. Well, today we decided to leave the boat, go through the little river and go explore town. And then Corey and I came back to the sailboat, and Will and Katie stayed in town to go find some sandals, which worked out pretty good because our dinghy coming back against the wind and waves with 4 people would have been absolutely ridiculous. So now Corey is just going to pick up Will and Katie and we're gonna eat supper. Are you wet?
It was perfect until like just then. Like it was glass until you started hearing Katie scream.
Oh my god!
Gotcha!
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're moving this little cover here for the shifter arm here on the side. There's 2 bolts on the back. You can't really make it out. But basically the shifter is having a lot of trouble going forward and back, or forward and neutral. And right now it's actually working fine, but yesterday it was jammed. So reading online, thanks to Google, I found out that I think there's water getting in here and messing up the friction, or making it a lot higher friction. So we're gonna see if we can take it apart and hopefully make it so it's a lot easier to shift in and out of gear.
And while the guys are working on the engine, Katie and I are working on what?
All the rations.
I really like jobs like this. It was 2 bolts, 1 screw, pulling this out and re-greasing it. And now look, I can move it with 1 finger. Before I could barely even move it. So it's sort of fixed. It's better than it was.
Woohoo!
We have a full list of where we've stored everything throughout the boat, so we know how much we have, where it is, so we can get at it easily throughout the trip.
New project. So we're going to try to set up this GPS with our radio out there. The things we need here are our little GPS cable that comes with the radio, a cheap GPS receiver. This one's a BR355S4 signal GPS receiver for a computer, and a little step down transformer / converter from 12 volts to 5 volts. Let's see if we can make this MacGyver setup here work. Radio first. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Okay. Partway there. Figuring stuff out. Slow and steady. We got GPS data okay. When I push enter, we can see our GPS coordinates now. Woohoo! It works. So I guess I'll show you guys what we did so you can do it yourself and save yourself at least, I don't know, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, I don't know. It was pretty expensive. It was like $100 or something for the GPS, and the one we got was 30 plus maybe another like maybe 10 bucks for the converter. So yeah, save yourself some money. Alright, here's a quick explanation of how all of this is going to get hooked up. So this is pretty self-explanatory. You've got one 12 volt / 20 volt 4 volt side, and you can get these on Amazon. They come in different shapes and sizes, but you connect the positive to positive, negative to negative. Then you have an output of 5 volts at 3 amps that you connect your positive and negative. And so that positive and negative gets connected to your little GPS transmitter here, or receiver, sorry. And basically, again, it's black and your red wires, very tiny little wires. But your black and your red wires are what's going to get connected to that 5 volts. And then for our particular radio, it comes with this little GPS wire that you're meant to wire in the traditional GPS. It also has some extra wires to connect it to a chart plotter and a few other things. But the only 2 wires you're concerned with are the yellow and the green. The green is actually just a ground, so you can connect it to the black wire that it then goes to your output on your 5 volt power supply. And then your yellow one is your positive for the signal, and that gets connected to the green wire on this little guy. So really you're only using the red, you ignore the white, and you're using the red, the black, and the green wire on this thing once you cut off the little connector that's on it. So pretty simple. The only thing that's a little weird is you don't connect the green to the green, but if you follow the instructions, you realize the green is the negative and the yellow is the positive. So that's it. Nice and simple.
We've been in our little protected anchorage for quite a few days now, and the wind's still blowing from the east, and will be blowing from the east for the next week. So we're getting a little tired of being here and waiting out a weather window to cross to the Bahamas. So I think today we're just gonna go to shore in North Miami Beach and do a bit of laundry and get a couple of things. And then maybe tomorrow head out towards Virginia Key or Biscayne Key just to change the scenery, because looks like we're gonna be stuck in Florida for a bit longer.
We got the dinghy fixed. Look, it's idling real smooth, real low, and one finger. Yay!
It might not be bad now. Yeah, last few things before we move on to Virginia Key.
head like that. Crazy big lizard. Big iguana. He really doesn't like us though. Keeps going.
Got a different one. It was a black and mild jazz. So I wondered what jazz was.
Well, I think today is the day we're gonna move on, but this is a bit of an interesting breakfast. It's really sunny. I kind of need sunglasses, but it's also raining with a rainbow behind me. Going to Miami. Well, actually, we're already in Miami. Been there for a couple of days.
Central Miami.
But yeah, Central Miami or Virginia Key. And it's so gloomy and humid today. But it's warm.
Water's pretty.
It is, eh? I really want to jump up the boat into the water. I need to rinse off.
Nothing's stopping you. Go ahead.
Not here. No, there's too much traffic.
It's rainy and sunny, then rainy again. But we're sailing, so that's good. Can't go wrong there. We turned off the engine for a little bit to sail because we were waiting for the next bridge. And of course, it's always nice to go sailing rather than having a motor everywhere. And when I turned it back on, the hot water was blinking away and yelling at us and screaming. And so we turned off the motor. It just so happened it did it right in front of the bridge, so it was a little bit hectic. But it turns out that I think just from turning off the engine and turning it on, like within, I don't know, 15 minutes, there was a lot of warm water inside of the engine, and that seems like it was basically just not circulating, so it stayed hot enough to turn on that little light. And I think everything's good now. We just cleaned out the sea strainer and it seems like the water's flowing fine. But yeah, we'll find out.
And some eggs, plantain, and delicious cantaloupe. You can feel the heat, eh? Well, they almost burnt out because I had to deal with a bridge, so I ended up turning off the stove. It's actually not a good section to be cooking. I almost considered stopping and waiting until we're anchored, because we've got to call so many different bridges. But they're getting nice and golden.
But making for a very happy captain.
Fast.
It's our beautiful lunch. Today we are having leftover biryani rice, scrambled eggs, fried plantain, fresh avocado, cantaloupe with a heated up corn tortilla.
Time for a dip.
Oh, what's the verdict?
Oh, it's nice. Nice and refreshing. Water doesn't taste like piss. So it's gotta be clean.
We left North Miami Beach and right now we are just across from downtown Miami. We found a little anchorage by the Marine Stadium in Virginia Key and it's really busy actually. There's a lot of boats and some sea-doos just ripping by us, but the water is incredible. Oh, it's just like turquoise or aqua. It's beautiful. A little chilly, but actually not that bad. Once you've been in it for a while, you're quite happy. So right now we're just having some rum and enjoying life.
Yeah, probably.
Well, we made it off the boat and kind of found somewhere to park the dinghy. A little tricky here, but we walked over to Virginia Key Historical Beach Park, something like this. And there's that cool sand castle, but it kind of looks like it's rock or concrete. Still really impressive. A nice little beachfront and plants and coconuts and fossilized corals. It's really nice and quiet. What you doing, Corey?
I'm coconut slacklining.
Bucket.
Oh, cleaning up beaches. I like that they have a bucket here so you can just clean up the beach and then leave it behind and they actually come around and pick it all up after. This is kind of handy. More beaches should implement this. So then if you're just walking the beach, you can just pick up the garbage as you see it. It's kind of sweet.
It was purple like the other one.
It's coming! Ah!
It's a blown up condom or a balloon. Whoop, whoop. No, it's a jellyfish. Some sort of weird jellyfish. You got the little tentacles here. Whoop, 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 whoop.
We are trying to make it back to the dinghy and walking through mangroves and it's so itchy. There's like There's mosquitoes everywhere and spiders too. They're everywhere.
Is that a horror movie, sir?
Why are you in the water?
Try to get away from all the mosquitoes. That was horrible. And maybe wash off some of the spiders that we got all over us.
Never again. Mangroves are not somewhere you want to try to take a shortcut. They're filled with spiders and I'm so itchy. I just want to go swimming. Let's go back to the boat, make some food and swim.
You got destroyed, eh?
I know. Feels so good to be sailing again. We made it to Elliott Key and the Florida Keys. It's pretty much island time.
Trying to secure these solar panels a little better. We're going through like 5.3, 5.5.
Right next to us is pretty much the end of mainland Florida. Well, this is it. The last bit of provisioning before we cross over to the Bahamas. That's insane! We just got hit by a squall and the wind picked up.
And I don't really want to stay behind just to do an overhaul at the end.